double whammy: email marketing and SEO. Yeah, we in here. We lit. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being part of the marketing club. I love showing up these days like this because I'm feeling like a lot of people are gaining a lot of information at a fast pace. And I'm able to say a lot of things in, I won't say a short time because we spend a lot of time here, but over time we are actually creating connections with people that would give you long term results. So these are some things that you have to think about as a business and you know consider, what are we really doing online, how are we really doing things online, and who are we doing things for online. So this is going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. So I'm looking forward to this. Whew. Hey Edward, hey Liverpool, good morning or good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Welcome. What's up, man? How you doing? Edward, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hey, how are
Yeah,
you?
yeah. You know what? I'm doing great. How about you too?
I'm good. How's life, business? What's going on?
Oh, everything is moving on fine. It's just that I was caught up with school, actually trying to do a top-up program. So I was currently writing exams, but then I'll finish tomorrow, so I can join the session from time to time.
That's dope. That's dope. All the best in your exams, bro.
All right, bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I
You're
think
gonna pass.
I've lost a lot. Yes, I've lost a lot
The replays, the
on here.
replays are still here, so you could check them out if you ever want to, go back to them as well.
That sounds good. Okay, I'll check. I'll check that. I think I'll do that.
Awesome. All right. Liverpool, welcome to the room. How are you? Y- You sound far.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I was using my bedtime voice, but I've got my AirPods in. But yeah, I'm really good. I'm looking forward to this room and all the gems that I will learn from this room as well. So yeah, over to you, Favour. I hope you're doing well too.
Yes, I am. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. I'm really excited about today's room because this is one of the topics that are in my, I don't call it my arsenal, but like my title pack, because I have a lot of topics I've been discussing. And if you're listening to me for the first time, all through this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I did rooms here in the marketing club. And if you go to the marketing club, because we're all members here, when you go to the marketing club, welcome Candice, you go to the listen to replay section and you'll see that there are all the episodes that were talked about. We talked about SEO for brands, branded versus non-branded content. We talked about SEO for local businesses. We talked about SEO for podcasters. We talked about SEO for social media. That's the one that's really blowing my head because that's the one that is actually ranking on YouTube. Because when I typed in SEO for series, SEO for social media came up on YouTube. And I was like, okay, this is a good one. And then yesterday was SEO for bloggers. Now, the reason why I wanted to give you an SEO for series is because I've really thought about, this whole week. I've had great wins this week, and one of them is this is the first time ever that I've gotten a thread to hit over 100,000 views in less than 48 hours. And that is something that, like, if I look at my threads now, the number of followers that have come here, I don't even know where they came from. but I know how they got to me because I was able to set the playing field. And I just was able to connect the dots, let people know about, right? Wow. I'm looking at it right now. It says 151,000 views. So I'll put the link so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Just because I'm going somewhere with this example. All right. I've just changed it. Yeah. So that's, if you click this link, I'm on Threads. If you click this link, it's going to take you to the exact thread that I'm talking about. I did this 2 days ago, and on the app, it will tell you how many views the thread has. This thread has 151,000 views. Do you know what happened? This guy called this profile called the unique wallpaper. They give really good wallpapers. Like, he creates beautiful wallpapers. And I was like, this page makes me happy. That was like, I think 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. And I was just like, this is really nice. That's all I said. That's all I said. No SEO, no hashtag, no nothing. Just sentimental value. And I was like, this page makes me happy. And this guy, the unique wallpaper, you can check him out. When before I posted that, he was at like 200,000 followers. Right now, he's at 343,000 followers. And 151,000 views contributed to his 300,000 plus followers. I only have like 300 plus, followers on my threads. I have about 1,500. To me, that is immense because I don't even spend time on threads. But for me to get 300 followers in 2 days on threads, yes, imagine if I spent 90 days on threads. So I'm not even looking at the number of followers. I'm looking at the impact score that could actually happen. So this is evidence to you that it's possible. I've done it. You can see there are 151,000 views on threads. There's no magic. There are no ads on threads. So this is all organic. Hey, Heather. Glad to have you here. How are you?
Hey, hi, good. Gonna be here until I'm done my daily tasks, and then it's Saturday, and then I'm out of here. Happy
Hey,
Saturday.
happy Saturday. Glad to have you here. Welcome, Juliana and Dana as well. Thanks for being here today. And I see you all as well in the audience. Appreciate you for being here. I want to just acknowledge each and every one of you that are here, Zephanath, as well as Old Man, Art Hit, Francis, D Mac, Kriston, Adam, NTJE, Empire, Malam, Suha, and Ino. Thank you for being here today. Hey, Juliana, what's going on? How are you?
Good morning, brother. I'm doing amazing.
Good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Guys, I want to first of all start this room with definition. Definition, because that's what's also going to help us understand this topic. And why did I call it a double whammy? Like, why is it? I could have called it something else, but I called it double whammy for a reason. Double whammy, right? This was originated in the 1950s, right? I'm taking you guys back, just a little bit back, a little bit of some history class, right? If we look at the word whammy, right? Double whammy, it's you can Google it and see what it says, right? It's when two things happen at the same time. It's like a twofold, right? And when I looked at this word, I was like, let me get a bit more specific with this. And it's like, okay, if it's a double whammy with email and marketing and SEO, that can cause a tragedy, that can cause a disaster, right? And why is it a disaster? It's a disaster because there are over 1.9 billion websites worldwide, right? And 82% of websites that have been published haven't been updated in the last 6 months. That's how serious it is. I was just on a call before getting here with you with someone. She's a notary business owner, and I didn't even know that. I was looking at online. It was showing me that people are looking for notaries for business cards, notaries for international stuff. I was doing some deep research with her today just to know, like, how can I help? And I said, okay, let me do an audit of your website because I do a 15-minute audit. And I'm like, hey, this is what your website looks like. You may not realize it, but I'm going to go under the hood. What did I find? I found out that her website on the front end looks beautiful. I even told her, hey, this is beautiful. I love the style. I love the look and everything. I love the flow. And I said, all right, let's go to the back. I went to the back. At the back, the last time her sitemap was updated, and what is a sitemap? A sitemap is it's like a library of your pages on websites. It's the brain of your website. So if you have a sitemap, it means that there's a pathway. When you hear a site map, it's literally that websites that are mapped together to lead back to your domain. So when you have links that are backing up to your domain, you're creating content that is consistently building connections, right? And these connections are in turn allowing you to get responses from signals, right? You can get 100,000 views, like I'm showing you right now, 150,000 views on threads. Yeah, that's great. It goes viral, but on whose account? My account. If I get 150,000 views and he get 350,000 followers, and then I get 300 followers, but out of those followers, I'm connecting with people who are specific to my search, and I'm actually educating people, and that's actually turning into business opportunities for my business. So I'm not looking at the number of followers, I'm looking at the number of impact, because Google alone has 8.5 billion searches a day. So I'm not really in competition with a social media account. I'm in competition with myself and with the competition I'm seeing out there. So when you also look at yourself in the same picture and see where your website is, you have to also consider how you're building your website for people. And what do I mean by this is the person that I just audited her website, the last time she updated her website under the hood was January 2021. That was the last time her website was updated. It says last modified. You know how you go to your folder on your local drive, on your hard drive, and you'll see like the folder you created on your local drive, and you see last updated, last modified. That last modified shows up in public and it shows up on the web. So imagine your last modified showing up on a web and it's not modified 3 years later. It means that your business may not be relevant because there's so many websites between 2021 January and 2024 August 31st today, 2024, that have been built. So when I say 1.9 billion websites in the world are out there and 82% of them have not been updated in the last 6 months, it's a reality check. You're spending money on domain service. You're spending money on GoDaddy, Namecheap, Squarespace, name it. You're spending money on your website for every year you're paying, every 2 years you're paying, every 3 years you're paying. But you're not paying attention to the people who actually need your service because you're paying attention to the wrong things that's taking you away from the service that you can provide. And what I mean by that is if you're not sending emails and you're not updating your website and you're not doing it consistently, it's like leaving your car in the garage and expecting your car to kickstart a year after you've never kicked it off before. If you didn't kick your car a year before now and you just show up and say, oh yeah, I want to kick my car and let's go on the highway, it's not happening. That car is going to jump, start, crash, crack. It's not going to move. Like anytime you want to start the car, you just hear it's not working because it's stuck, right? You're stuck in the mud. You're stuck in the rabbit hole. AI is growing. Between 2021 and 2024, AI has emerged. So if your website is not even part of the search and you're still paying for a service and you're still paying for something, that's an expense. So how do you create a double whammy on the other side of the fence when you don't send emails and you don't update your content? People spend more time in their inbox than they spend on social media. These are things you have to think about. You may think social media, yes, people spend a lot of time there, but serious people, business professionals, people who actually make decisions, people who are actually taking their time to go through documents, they're on emails, right? So you have to think about those things long term. So I'd love to pass it to anyone, Edward, Liverpool, Heather, Juliana. What are your thoughts on this?
I was trying to type something. You mentioned about the inbox and social media. I have to tell you, as a numbers person, the people that makes the most impact on their profits are not on social media. A lot of serious business people are not on social media. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Juliana. You're so right about that. They have no time on social media to be scrolling when they have invoices, they have documents, they have proposals. Like there's so many things that contracts, like the list can go on and on and on. So if you're really in business for business sake, then you'll be doing business better because you're connecting with the right people who actually need your business within your locality, right? Another great thing with email marketing and SEO is targeting. Because if you really think about it, if you really, really think about it, the person, I'm gonna like kind of give you like a round the clock. The same person who is searching for a product that you provide is searching with their email signed in to Google. So if they're signing into Google and they're searching on Chrome, searching on Safari, and they're searching for something, there's a search history, right? And that is going to ultimately boost your traffic, boost your business, boost your domain, boost your authority, and ultimately boost your business, right? Now, if you're creating a system that is actually attributing to that kind of build up, right? When you're sending out an email, thank you, Juliana, for being here. When you send out content with that email and you're actually sending it out from somebody's email to social media, the same person that is searching on Google has their email signed in is the same person that is signed into a social media account and is the same person that is signed in to their email account. So everybody is wondering what's going on. Same person signed into 3 apps at the same time with the same IP address. And if I send you an email and that email leads you to a website and that website has an app, then you've done a really good thing because for every email contact you have and for every dollar you spend with email marketing, you get $42 back. That is a fact. You can Google that. That is a standard. And people don't understand how do you get $42 back with $1 with one contact? It's because you have to think about the long term effect of a business. When you're sending an email marketing campaign or doing something with email marketing, how do you know who's signed up? How do you know who's doing what? And I don't mean open rate, click rate, I mean activity. If I don't send you an email in 1 week, in 1 month, can you still be in my inbox? Because being in an inbox means that there's something going on, there's a tracking going on, right? Because if I'm sending you an email and you open that email 5 times, and I know you opened that email 5 times, then I know that there's something on that email that caught your attention. And I'll know that based on the links that you clicked the 5 times you went into that inbox. So through my analytical study, I'll be able to know, and this is what we do with our clients as a team. We'll make sure that you understand what these people are looking for. Because you can have 10,000 contacts on your list and not understand what they want. Not because you don't know what they came for, but because you didn't know how to nurture them through flows, workflows, SOPs, KPIs that you're able to preset. as a metric for you to forecast, you know, for your business long term. So if you're using email marketing as a source to connect the dots, you're doing so well, because when you start telling people on social media, hey, listen to me, do this, do that, yeah, they may do it, they may not do it, but the ones who do it that actually get a result will want to talk to you. They want to connect with you. They want to say, hey, let me sign up and learn more about you before I actually work with you. Because sometimes people are skeptical before they want to work with someone. People don't work with people they don't like. So I got to like you to work with you, first of all. So you don't hire people in a job that you don't like. You got to like the person to hire them, right? They may smell good, they look good, they feel good, they have self motivation, they have self respect. Like those are the things that you look for people in people, so that you actually appreciate them and the respect is reciprocal, right? So when you reciprocate the things that you're creating contextually online, then the links that you're sending people within your email are going to those subscriptions that show up based on traffic. So you have to think about SEO and email marketing together, because when you send an email, you're sending them somewhere, either to social media where they're going to end up hearing you say go to their website, or you send them directly to your website. From your website, you now send them to social media. So whichever street, whichever pathway, whichever roadmap, whichever way you go, all roads lead to your property. And that's how you should think about it. Heather, I would love to ask you, what are your thoughts on email marketing and SEO, especially like how people have been using it pre-AI and now AI? Heather might be busy. She said that she'll be back. So Heather, let me know when you're back. Just butt right in and let me know. Liverpool, you there?
Yeah, no, I'm here, baby. Sorry. Sorry. Um, yeah, what's up?
When you receive emails, how do you feel? What's your response like? What's your take on emails, especially like as a receiver, consumer, and if you're also producing it too?
Um, uh, when it comes to emails and everything like that, I'm a little bit, what's the word, apprehensive about email marketing, because I feel like um, it's not really an effective way to sell or let people know about your product. And here's my reasons. Number one, sometimes email can be a little bit intrusive, especially if you're sending thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of emails to people, to that one person. People can tend to get quite annoyed. I can't tell you how many times that I purchased something from a particular company and they sent me dozens of emails of deals that they got and everything like that. And let's not even go down SMS marketing as well, which can be rather annoying, because I'm not really interested in particular of those deals that they may have and everything like that. So it can be a little bit rather annoying sometimes. Also, I feel like with emails as well, they can be a little bit generic, so they're not really catering to that specific customer need and things like that. So it's more of a generic email that they want to send out to people. So making sure that sometimes having that little bit of personalization, so you've actually thought about, the customer that you're sending it to, rather than just sending it as a generic email, because some people actually like to feel a little bit special, like they've actually been thought of, rather than just sending a generic email. Another reason I feel like email marketing can be very ineffective is that some people just don't actually receive them, and they can actually land into your spam and everything like that. So you're potentially, the people are thinking, businesses are thinking that they're receiving these emails, the customers are receiving these emails, when in actual fact they're not, because it's landing right into their spam box. And if you're like me, you don't always check your spam, and you don't always read for your spam emails, because most of the time it's just a whole load of junk. So it just literally just goes straight into the bin and everything like that. So I must admit, when I do receive emails, and I receive a lot of emails that are that are that seem very, very intrusive and very bombarding, but constantly trying to sell me something. Because one thing that we don't like is overselling, or people constantly trying to sell something to us. And I must admit, I am a little bit of a unsubscriber to emails, especially if it gets too much. So that's just how I feel about email marketing in general. So I hope that answers your question, Faber.
Totally. Thank you for giving that honest feedback because that's what we need. A lot of people don't like emails. I personally didn't like emails, but I realized like it came to me and I was like, this, why am I even mad at emails in the first place when that's the one thing people wait for? So I had to switch that mentality, but I also get what you're saying when people send emails and they just bombard you with sales and sales and sales. And I think the reason why you're feeling annoyed or feeling like this is too much or this is spammy or this is too salesy is because there's no story. There's no substance. There's no consistency in quality. There's no depth in quality. There's no substantial reason for me to stay and get something tangible if whatever I've bought is already in my possession. But now I don't need to buy something else. I know where to go. So I don't need an email to know where to go. So you start thinking about all these spiderweb thoughts, you know, and it starts to get a little confusing. But I also know that when you do send emails and you attract SEO to this, what is really making your business thrive is emails. Because when you think about emails, because I've worked with fintech companies, I've worked with real estate companies, like we've worked with, different agencies, different businesses, architecture, just based on different industries. Because everyone needs SEO. It's just based on your industry, your competition, and it's all 100% into that, base. So I was looking and I was wondering, okay, how can we make, emails more friendly and also more aesthetically pleasing? That's another thing too. Because sometimes when you send an email, if it's not looking good, font wise, style wise, theme wise, color wise, it's just not going to attract your eyes. And then you're just going to fall off. So creating consistency and building that tenacity is important because when you send out an email, right? That email that you're sending out is sending a signal. It's sending a signal, just like you knew that there was a room happening here today, right? Like Liverpool, you see how you just said, I do have a question? That's a signal. I just saw your message. That's a signal. That's a notification. So when you get an email notification like that, your eyes are attracted to that text. I read what you said, so that alone allows me to feel like, okay, let me respond. But if I send you an email saying 20% off, 50% off, 10% off, I'm going to get, at some point, I'm just going to just log off because I'm like, there's no point of reading the same text every day because I know what's coming in the next email. So there's no surprise. There's no surprise element. You already know what's coming. It's predictable and it's also regressive. So if you think about how you communicate and send emails, it makes more sense. I do a lot of testing with emails. I send emails with all small caps because you also have to think about parsing. You have to think about email Unicodes and all these things. You have to think about how you process them. So email marketing is a big thing, and I've talked about it long, long and hard. But you think about the fundamental part about emailing is communication. That's what emails were made for. Communication. If from a message in a bottle to putting it into a song, to putting into a poem, to putting into an email, putting it into an envelope, you know, putting a ribbon on it, that shows love because it shows that you care, right? So when you send an email, it's electronic mail. It's still mail. Even though it's coming in the post, it's coming to your inbox. Your box is your mailbox, right? So it's just different words, but it's the same thing. right? So if we use email for communication, hey, happy Labor Day weekend. Hope you're doing well. No sale, no nothing. That's great. I've done that so many times. Like I will do that this weekend. We have a whole series for SEO for the whole weekend for people to binge. You know, our podcast, We Don't Play, is top 3% globally. And we're listening to in over 113 countries with over 400 episodes. We're in season 9 right now, and people are listening, they're binging. And I'm like, people are listening. Like I wake up and I'm like, oh wow, okay, this is what you guys like. Okay. So it's making me know because I like to communicate. I love to communicate. If there's no communication, if I didn't send an email this month, I don't think we'd be making the sales we're making this month, or even having the communication ability to even have those conversations in place. So I send emails to say Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy New Year, you know, whatever it is, because we care, you know, and there's a national day for everything, right? A national day for everything. I got to hear this from someone here. Shout out to him, Marcus. You know, really, really great insight. When you think about, you know, national, it's called national. I'm going to actually get it for you guys. Nationaldaycalendar.com, right? Nationaldaycalendar.com. There's a day for everything. Like today is August 31st. Today is Eat Outside Day. National Eat Outside Day. It's also National South Carolina Day. It's also National Trail Mix Day. It's also National, I can't say that word, something Earth Day, and also National Matchmaker Day. So if you're in a business for matchmaking, for travel, for business, for eating, for food, for candy, today is your day because you can use this and talk about the benefits, educate your audience, communicate. You don't have to sell them anything, just talk to them. And then you can say reply yes if you got the message. Then people will reply back yes or add more context to the yes that you prompted. So you have to think about how to communicate and create that two-way street. That's why when podcast people think, oh, podcast is one way, it's really two-way. You know, doing this 5 years now, I've been in music for close to 20 years. It's going to be 2 decades next month, next year, 2025, and it's just consistency. So I'll pass it to you, Liverpool, because I really want to hear your question.
Mm. So, give your after hearing your submission, I actually really love the fact that you brought up sending emails with Happy Christmas and Happy Holidays and everything. It's just that small personalization just to show that people really care. But one thing, as I said, we businesses are given such a wealth of information about their customers, especially when they go onto their site, what they what they like to do, what they like to buy, what kind of deals that they have. Because one thing that a lot of websites do have is what, even though they're rather annoying, and sometimes we can actually opt out of them, is cookies. So that data given from each customer visit to the companies and things like that, so we are given a lot of information about customers. So thinking, so when people receive emails and they're quite generic as well, it's a form of laziness actually, and it's just a tick box exercise. So my question is, going to the question is, why do you feel that some companies don't give out personalized emails, and how do you feel about personalizing your emails to suit each customer? Do you think that's an effective way of communicating with your customers? So yeah.
Great question. I will always go back and say that it boils down to your branding, how you're branded. If you're a brand that is full of, you know, happiness and you're all about yellow, 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 and that's your brand, then nobody expects you to talk about sad things because you're in a happy state. You have happy colors. You have a happy state of mind. You have a happy mindset. You know, you have a happy color. You have a color that screams sunlight, you know. So if you're creating content and right down to your theme, your color palette, your brand kit, you know, however you show up, that's how they're able to connect with you. look at Chick-fil-A, for example, they use chicken, like chick, they use the word chick and then chicken, chicken and then Chick-fil-A, and then they use a cow with a black and white, even though their brand color is red, right? So you think about those little things that move big mountains and make big shifts is based on how you communicate. So if a brand is using a corporate brand, let's say a restaurant, and today's like National Eat Out Day, and I send an email to all the people who came to my restaurant from January all the way through August, or just everybody, period, and say thank you for dining with us. We appreciate you. Thanks, in remembrance of National Eat Out Day, which is today. We want to give you all 50% off, whatever it is. What kind of incentive it will be, it's up to you and the brand marketing, right? When you do that, you can tell them, hey, this is what it is. Like for me, people know, like when they when they get our emails, I love tacos, right? So whenever it's Tuesday, I'll be like, happy Taco Tuesday. I'll say that in the email. So it's people would like, and you see that people actually get to connect with you through the data, right? Because I'm not just reading numbers, I'm reading community, I'm reading psychology, I'm reading emotion, right? So if a corporate company is just sending emails of like corporate news and just sending information, because we've worked with companies like a multinational company that had that kind of experience, and we had to switch it up a little bit to say, hey, let's soften things up because we're too harsh. They didn't even have a LinkedIn newsletter, right? And we created a corporate newsletter on LinkedIn for them so they can start doing roundups, every month. So creating that kind of consistency, right, with building layers allows you to become the person to come to. So when you now add humor into your text, people don't feel like it's out of context. They don't feel like it's off topic or it's off brand, because it starts to sound off brand when you're not trying to hit home or trying to expatiate on a point or trying to relate to something that's going to bring you back to the focal point. So if someone is creating a comical relief, for that kind of emotional, upbringing or uplifting, then your idea of applying that in your email and your copy is where you start to connect the dots between telling stories. So if your company, the easiest point of entry is to tell a story of what happened internally, externally, let people know what's happening, because everyone can see Coca-Cola, but nobody knows what happened in the Coca-Cola headquarters on Monday morning. We don't know unless you work there, unless you heard about it, unless you really go to the news, but you may not find the exact thing you're looking for. So when you start to use and work with companies or let companies find out a way to actually get more people, it's community. Apple, Tesla, Coca-Cola, it's all community. When you watch their ads, when you see what they do, there are people involved. They'll just say, hey, 50 people, huddle up, put people together, 500 people, put a drone on top, because you want to see people. You want to feel like you're part of something, part of something. So I think that's where we're going to. And especially now with AI, and you were talking about like auto responses, it's going to get to a point where people can read your information or read your text and actually feel what you're saying, right? Even if you can sound exactly like the AI model, it's fine, but you also have to add some type of enhancement to it. So I think the way it's going, and from what I've just done, doing market research, a lot of companies right now are, leaning more into first party data and also creating their own PR system by opening more podcast opportunities for their business. Either they're creating their own podcast show, or they're getting into a podcast network, or they're working with people who do podcasts. So that's what I'm seeing. And I think that's a great way for people to communicate, because if you don't have an email list in 2024, the money you're spending online is also going kind of wasting, or you're not even investing or being smart with your investment. Because if you have a pixel on your website, a Facebook pixel, Meta pixel, a LinkedIn Insight tag, a Pinterest tag, a TikTok pixel, if you don't have those things and you're online socially, you're on rented property. Rented property is social media. Owned property is your email list. So when you start sharing content, because there are four types of media. There's owned media, paid media, shared media, and earned media. Shared media is where the rented media comes from, or rented property, because you're sharing content on social. And that's second party data. So when you now start thinking about first party data with owned property on your website, then you can start to really grow. If you look at Forbes, CNN, Bloomberg Report, TMZ, look at all their websites, look at their social media. They'll tell you the headline news of the story, but they'll tell you go read the full story on our website. Click the link in bio to go read the full story. So when you click on it, they get data, they get reports, they get analytics, they get feedback, they get first party data, they get contacts. And that's how they stay sustainable as a business. If you want to sell your business, if you want to exit your business, if you want to merge your business, one of the questions that they're going to ask you are your numbers. What are your numbers? Not just financially, but socially. What's your impact score? What's your SEO score? What's your listen score? So those things are things people don't think about, but SEO and email marketing is the holy grail of the whole thing, because you have fundamental SEO, meaning that you're available, you're seen, you're submitted, you're indexed, you're listed, you're within the searching experiences. Somebody's looking for beauty products and you show up there. Someone's looking for hair, you show up. Someone's looking for social media tips, you show up. Someone's looking for SEO, you show up. At some point they're like, why not? Because you just be second guessing yourself if it's already in reality. So that's what I would say when people think about email marketing. I would be careful on where I'm giving my email to, because once you give your email, you don't know whether that company has partnered with another company to share third party data with your company data. So it's all crazy things going on. So you have to really understand what it is. Like we even do that with our email list. If we have someone that wants to advertise on our podcast, we'll tell them, hey, when we send an email, we have a disclaimer. We'll let them know that, hey, if you are clicking on this link and you want to connect with this person, let us know. But we also identify that because we'll segment you in the audience. And because you clicked on this, we'll now be able to forward that to the person who is going to connect with you. But we get them prepared so that when they click on it, they know, okay, yeah, this is going there. From there, I did that with somebody on our podcast. His name is John. And as I'm speaking to you right now, he just bootstrapped his business. We got on the podcast. He had zero followers, not zero followers, zero email subscribers, and he just didn't know what to do. And I was able to boost him up with about 2,500 and 2,500, and he was able to kick off his LinkedIn, and he's doing well for his business right now, and he's connecting. So just building. It takes a while. Sometimes you may not see all the emails because, yeah, like you said, emails can be flooded. But when you send an email that has substance, that has an emoji, that has quality, that can actually be clicked on, that has line spacing, that has, white space, that has, links that are actually within with UTM parameters, just creating that consistency and quality control, then you'll definitely get quality feedback. Does that help, Liverpool?
Perfectly, you explained that rather well. Thank you very well.
You're welcome. Most welcome. Hey, Amen. Glad to have you here, Dr. Pratt. Welcome, welcome. By the way, before I say anything, I always wanted to tell you this, Dr. Pratt. I need to hit you up because I had an experience with someone who I did the same thing for, and I'm working on a case right now in Australia to get her, completed with her onboarding because something happened within their system with a glitch. So they're trying to get that fixed. So before I even forward your information to them, I want to get the person first settled because I don't want you to go through the same process. So that's why I wanted to let you know. It might have been something to do with, when there was a strike with the airlines and the
Yep.
data and everything. Yeah, so that could have caused a surge. So it happened to somebody, and I said before I get you on there, I want to make sure that everything is good and back to normal so that you're not going through the same process. So apologize for the delay, but I wanted to just give you that
Oh
transparency.
no, I appreciate that. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking more about the sim rush and getting a connection over there.
Look at me thinking about
That's what I was
something
thinking
else,
about.
and you're that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, all right, definitely. Yeah, Semrush is beautiful. Yeah, we can talk about that. I didn't even know you wanted that. I was focused on getting your hotel voucher and your tickets all sorted out so you can fly for the holidays. And here you're talking about Semrush. But I love that. Semrush is beautiful. And
Because
it's
you want stuff that's like SEO that's gonna be
hmm
evergreen. Like you can always
go to a hotel and take a vacation. But you can't always get a connection that's going to bring you potentially millions of dollars. So.
Exactly. You know what I realized with SEMrush, because I'm now an like Work and Plan Entertainment is now an agency partner. I'll put the link up for you guys to check the link out. And I realized something with impressions because let me actually log into my account because it's something I want to say. Okay. So
My favorite. Okay, that's I
go
go.
ahead, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say something I'm experimenting with. Just got today, and I was super impressed. I am not, or should I say, I haven't been a fan of HubSpot. Um, I'd always felt like they were mediocre at best, and at worst, expensive as hell. And it was alright. But they have a new CRM that's free, 100% free, and they're onboarding. Bro, if this is the way that companies are going to finally onboard us onto platforms, I'm here for it. The onboarding was gorgeous and simplistic and made me feel seen and heard and all the things for this new CRM. And they give you a template, which is something that, you know, I lived in Atlanta. I was sponsored by MailChimp. I have a lot of love for the company, but if this continues, Melchip is dead. Kazukai is gone. Um, the way these companies are thinking about how the pain points that us as entrepreneurs or and marketers or agencies, I'm really feeling seen and heard. They have a sales pipeline template, or they have a marketing template, or you can mix and match. And I'm telling you, I just haven't seen anything like this before from a legacy company. A company that's been around for a minute. Maybe Salesforce, I guess, but even with Salesforce, I still have it's this thing that hey, we get you with these great we get you with these great features, and then okay, you pay, you have access. Okay, gotta go see you. Oh wait, you do have an onboarding session with so and so. So it's 2.5 hours. 2 days later, do you remember what happened on the onboarding session? Not much. So then you have to schedule another one. Then you're feeling your way through this. It's 2 or 3 months later. You're finally starting to use some of the features you wanted to. By that time, something else has come up. And so that getting people onboarded in the moment when they decide, and that onboarding process to give them exactly what they need the service for in that moment is historic.
You're so right. It's something that they're looking for in real time, and if you can provide it realistically, then there's nowhere else to go but where you're putting them or where you're connecting with them. And it's easy these days to do it because of how we've built out a structure for SEO. Just when you think about the whole idea of how people get found, how people get connected, how do you show up online? Are you the same person across all platforms? It's really important to look at these things. And email marketing has been one of the greatest inventions for businesses because with email marketing, especially if you can talk to a lot of people and connect, it's so great. As an agency partner on Link on SEMrush, I have access to 3,000 leads a month. I don't even use them all. I should be today is August 31st. I still have like 2,800, left to work with. So every month they refresh your credits and you're able to get 3,000 leads. So I can choose the technology that the company uses. There are 4,000 technologies to choose from, and I can choose what industry. I can know exactly what they're doing. If they need this service, I can literally scan through their website. These are businesses. So I'm able to like scrape the whole thing, right? But I'm not going to bombard you with emails. I'm only going to show up with information that will help your business make better decisions because I've been in positions where I'm not even lifting a finger. All we're doing is just talking on Zoom for an hour. And that's $3,000 in there. That is process for the month that we are just talking basically on strategy. I'm not touching a social media account. I'm not sending an email. It's a whole big company. They have staff. They have agencies. They have vendors. This is a multinational company. All I'm doing is showing up on Zoom and instructing or delegating or saying, okay, let's analyze this data. Let's look at this information. What is missing? Are we on Alexa? Are we on Siri? Where are we? Are we even visible? The website did not have an FAQ. A simple FAQ was not available on the site. Now that it's there, it picked up. I think you remember Dr. Dr. Martin when SGE first came out.
Mhm.
I we did a test. This was like early days, and we did a test when I was like, "Hey, let's do the FAQs for the company." And we now said, "Okay, yeah, what? Just type in the company name," and then we now saw the FAQs in the section within the SGE as early as it was. So I knew that was a detection to say, "Boom, bingo!" Now we know what people are looking for, and then we built on top of those FAQs, which now allows them to have about 3 million impressions a month. So, and it's a multinational company, it's a global company. So when, and big companies that I realized, big companies and small companies, because sometimes you wonder, oh, okay, SEO is just to rank, right? But so if a company is already ranking, do they need SEO? Yes. Because large companies, they don't just look at, this is what I realized. Large companies, when you work with them, they, Fortune 500 companies, they are looking for reach, results, reach and results.
Conversion. They need
Exactly.
conversion.
Conversion.
Yeah.
Exactly. Conversion metrics, C levels, C suite level. They just want to hear results, reports that are accurate. They don't want to see data. They want to see numbers that this is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Here are the percentages. Here are the numbers. Here's our profit and loss. This P&Ls, everything. It's all stated, and you can do that creatively. So if you're building it and you're building that with SEO, how can you justify that you've gained more reach or you've added more people? What usually happens there is that we create multiple languages. Welcome, Travis Michelle. Multiple languages. So when you're now connected to multiple languages, thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate you for being here. Multiple languages allows the large companies to expand their reach. Because if somebody's in China and they're trying to read a page, if that page can auto translate, then that's great for traffic. That's great for SEO. If it can translate to Spanish, that's great. So you start looking at those bigger pictures, and that's why we create those systems. If your website doesn't have a heat map, they didn't have a heat map. We had to install a heat map so we can know where to place the button, where to place the text, where to place this and that. Those things are so important. It's like the weather channel. If it's a tornado coming at you and they say don't drive towards this tornado, you're not going to drive towards the tornado, right? Because you've been given a hazard sign. Same thing with your website. If you don't have a red zone, a blue zone, a hot zone, a cold zone, how are you going to know what to change? If you send an email every week, how do you know what you're changing? So it's all about conversion rates and not just SEO. SEO is great. That's the cosmetics. The real thing is the technical. Is your page fast? Do you have relatable content? Is it contextual? Is it applicable? Is it readable? Is it tangible? Is it sustainable? Is it evergreen? Those questions, it's really based on research and development that will get you to those numbers and those answers. So, and it takes time. It takes time, but once you hit that pinnacle and you tip over it, you'll be so happy you spend that time because year over year, you're benefiting. For every one blog post that you put out there, that's 24 months life cycle time. 24 months. So one article gives you 24 months worth of time. You can expand it over time because every time you refresh your article, you're refreshing 24 months, refreshing 24 months. Think about that. So it's just an evergreen model. If you have an Instagram account and you have, let's say, a carousel or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, you're building those things into your social media, yes, which is not your property. It's owned property by Meta Inc. It's owned property by Snap Inc. It's owned property by Pinterest Inc., not by your website or not by your business. So when you now go on those business properties for free, because you're not paying for them, right? So it's free, free internet, free. I mean, internet is not free, but free, social media accounts allows you to freely express yourself. But it's also freely given so that you can actually access these things and connect with people. So if you don't send them from a free platform to a free email sign up, then there's a missing step here. So I want to just base it on that before we go any further. So thank you for being here, Amen and Travis Michelle. Thanks for being here. Amen, I wanted to come to you. Give us a quick overview, what your thoughts are, and I'll come to you, Travis Michelle.
Absolutely agree with everything that you said, Favor. It's they back the back work. I call it back work, and you mentioned something that is embedded in my business or in what I do as an entrepreneur, which is the research and development. You want to know every step of the way where's the most users, where every pain point, as Doctor was saying, um, HubSpot is amazing when it comes to the research and development. With and that's why I told maybe I will take you to our conversation, Favor, a couple of days ago, when I told you that when I start research, I do always start with two main points, and those are what really sets me apart of anyone else in the market, which is the the market gap and unmet needs. Because at the end of the day, regardless what your website is about, what your product is about, what your service you are offering, you will always work with human beings, and those human beings has needs, and especially the unmet needs. The unmet needs sets you apart from your competitors without you even think about what they are competing in. The competition not always about will never be always about the pricing. Pricing is the last thing, and you can be, and this can surprise some people, that if your price is low, doesn't always bring more users. Sometimes the price is indication of the quality. So and people think about this so much. By the way, I've been I have been through a mentorship program with one of my amazing mentors, and he asked me about my what do I offer, and what is my prices. And I told him, maybe let's say 2,000. And he told me, if you are going to do, and I'm gonna tell you after that why I said this number. He said, if you want to do the business development for my company, the consultant, once with this number, I won't trust you. I give him the 2,000 as the conversion rate in my currency. And he said, no, that's not right. Quality. And I know, basically, I know this, but he said something very important. Don't you even convert to your currency. Use the currency of the person you are working with. So that's another point here, is your quality, how you do your pricing, and most of all, how you are using your data. Data is power, data is knowledge, but the usage of those data is the best thing you can serve your business with. So I'm not going to be long-winded today, but back to you, Favor.
Thank you, Amen. No, that was so strong. That is a big thing. You're right. Like, you got to raise your prices. People say, yo, Favor, your prices are high. Yes, they are, because my time is valuable and I value yours. So when we tag team, we make sure that the time we both invest is yielding profit over time beyond the time we spend together in real time. That's what profit is. That's what investment is. And you have to raise your prices based on what you do. We raise our prices every year because we know the value we're putting in. We have AI employees now. We have AI assistants now. Like, we didn't have that last year. Now we do. So when you think about your
The
business,
price negotiation should be
uh-huh,
about quality. That's it for me. It's about quality. Like,
quality, yeah, that is true. That is so, so true. I saw a quote. I think it was Warren, yeah, it was Warren Buffett's birthday yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I saw a post, yeah, 21 hours ago. Yeah. He said one of the quotes that 94, I'm sorry, I apologize, 94 years old. I'm just reading it again. And one of the quotes he said is, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. And then he said something that really caught my attention about value. When you think about value, right? Value is earned, because if I have value for you, then the worth will show in my response to how I treat you, right? So if I say, "Hey, welcome, did you get everything you're looking for today?" That response alone is making you feel warm, cozy, and welcome. If I just say, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? Okay, bye." You just feel like, man, I'm not coming back here, because you feel like you've just wasted your energy on receiving something that you didn't plan to. So how you receive information online also matters because of how you position yourself for the web. So it's a really big thing to look at with your pricing, with your conduct, with your consumer reports, and all those things. They all align together. Travis Michelle, what's up, Travis Michelle? We'd love to hear from you. What's going down? What are your thoughts on this? What's happening? Give us something that you are thinking about that you're doing that's making this work for you.
Oh, sorry, my I think Clubhouse was clubbing. Anyway, hello everyone. Thank you. Happy Saturday. This is Travis Michelle. Last day of summer, right? August 31st. Oh my goodness. And I always like to sit and listen to what favors rooms are about, and definitely all the advice that people are giving, and I so agree with it. But while I'm doing that, maybe I'm the only one in here, and all of you are very experienced and seasoned and got it all together. But I also want everyone to think and remember that when we're getting advice and tips, we can't take the whole thing. We just take small bites. I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning. It's great to do your SEO, to do your marketing, to have all of this stuff, but I'm working on my back office, and it is no joke. Like, we know entrepreneurship is not for the uh, fair of heart, right? you you have to really be resilient, and taking the time to make sure that, like everyone has been saying, where are people going to find you? Your freebie doesn't have to always be free. That is a free 99. If when you're asking for their contact, that's value. That is priceless because you're getting their information. So yes, and I agree with Aman. Like, sometimes your prices, people will think that is, yeah, well, that's not worth it to me because it's not a Birkin bag that's $57,000, even though you can go and get a fake Birkin that looks the same and you can't tell, and you spent not even $1,000. So when you think about what the price of your business is, and not compare to other people. Again, I'm talking about Travis Michelle because I get all excited and be like, "Oh, I'm not doing enough. Oh my goodness, look what they're doing." But we're looking at the finished product. People aren't, I appreciate when Favor and other people really talk about what's happening during that dash. Like, you're born and then you die. What's going on in the dash? It's great to see all of the accolades, but what are you doing every day? How are you able to put the heat map? Where am I putting the heat map? And I've worked with Favors, so yes, I do get more acknowledge people seeing me because I worked with him, but I had to then put that work in and say, hey, let's try something different. Even though, can I be honest, I was like, this SEO is a bunch of crap. I did it. Yeah, I was like, yeah, whatever, you just want me to pay some money. And then when you start looking at, oh, how you're showing up under your name and other people are reaching out to you, and you're like, oh, maybe there's something to this. So do what you can in your space at your pace. And I'm saying this again for myself. Y'all thought all this was for you. No, it's for myself as well, because I want everything yesterday, yesterday, yesterday. Having your form set up and making sure you have that contact page so that people can contact you, even if it's janky. Y'all, it's okay to be janky. This is September. What do we expect from Apple? We expect them to come out with a phone. And we know that that program is going to be janky, but it doesn't stop them from sending it out. And I'm glad you brought up Buffett. We know that when it comes to money, everybody wants to look to him. We're like sitting there at his feet. I don't mean worshiping, but sitting, like listening in the room. Like, what is he saying? What is he doing? But do you know how many millions of dollars he put into Theranos? Did y'all know that? Yeah. And Theranos was a scam. So, but he took a risk. It's not about the fact that he was perfect and he knows everything, but he took a risk. What if it had worked? But he would not have known that had he not been in the game. So I'm Travis Michelle, y'all. Too much for some, not enough for others. But guess what? Always just right for me.
I love that, Travis Michelle. I'm gonna give you this because it's so true. We have to think about ourselves and what we are doing and where we're going. And there's so much happening. Look at what just Sydney just said. Brazil is in a dictatorship. We see what's going on with Twitter. We see what's going on with Elon Musk. We see what's going on with Telegram just the other day. You're just watching things happen, and you're like, okay, another one, another one, another one. It gets to a point where you get so numb that you forget that there's something happening that's really going on. And when you look at all these platforms and you look at yourself and ask yourself, if your platform was to go down today as a business, God forbid, right? Do you have data to work with? Do you have servers to work with? Do you have systems to work with? Right? Those are things that you have to look at as a business, because it's not just blogging every day or posting every day that's going to make you the sales. It's the impact you leave. There's some things that you say on LinkedIn and 2 months later somebody responds back to you, and that's something that takes off. Right? I'm closing in on 10,000 followers on LinkedIn. I'm like 9.5K now, and it's like this year I said I'm going to specifically be very intentional about my time. And that's why I'm spending time with you guys here on Clubhouse, because it's free time you're receiving. But I know in return, for me, I know I'm giving people information. I'm giving people value. I'm giving people time and service that they can actually learn. Yesterday was a crazy room. Listen to the replay. It was really, really deep. I introduced people to a new AI image generator called Ideogram, and people went to test it out. People sent me messages. We did a whole couple tests here and there. It was so great, and it's getting realistic. Like, AI is getting really smart. So I don't know, businesses like Canva, I don't know if they're going to be in business or have the same market share in a couple of years with what I'm seeing that's coming. Somebody else today was trying to test me on threads. I don't know, my threads have been blowing up, so now people are just trying to say a couple of things. So I went on threads today, and I put a thread. If you click the link above, you'll see I told somebody asked a question, a very genuine question. The question was, are people still using Calendly? With so many new options, I'm curious if people have shifted. And I just naturally just said, I use Calendly, but I'm moving to cal.com. Cal is a new, people use it in Europe a lot. Cal.com. It's a really nice platform in Q4. So I spoke with the staff, one of the staff members that works there, and it's an amazing app. Me being happy go lucky, yeah, I don't like trouble, I don't like drama. I'm gonna fix it, before it breaks. And then from nowhere, this random guy just shows up and says, "What's more amazing than Calendly?" with a question mark and that emoji with a big glass eye. So in my head, I'm like, okay, Cal is better than Calendly, and what you're paying for on Calendly is offered for free on Cal. And then the guy just goes ahead and says cap. He puts a cap, and I'm like, what? You think I'm lying? So I literally ran him down. And I was tired, because in my head I was like, I'm trying to help someone get outside, or help them save money, and here is somebody trying to negate or trying to say what I'm saying is not true. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna pull a Kendrick. So I said, I'm gonna just go ahead and give you all the information you need in three pieces. The first piece, I told him, is that Calendly prices range from free to $16 per month per seat, while Cal prices range from free to $15 per month per seat. The features offered in Calendly's per month plan are free on Calendly, are free on Cal. Calendly's free plan offers one event type. So you know how you can create an event for coffee, an event for meetings, an event for roundtable, an event for, maybe onboarding, discovery calls. You can't do that with a Calendly free account. But with Cal, you have unlimited event types. The second thing I told him, which now he put a heart on it, that's when I knew, yeah, this guy just he couldn't say anything. That's why I didn't have anything to say. He just put a heart on it. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad I taught you a lesson this morning. The second thing I told him was, and this is for anyone reading about Calendly, I said Calendly requires you to have Zoom or Google Calendar to have a virtual meeting, right? But Cal has an inbuilt video interface, which would not require you to need a third party integration. And I saw it with my own eyes. I was like, this platform is beautiful. It's new. People are not talking about it in North America, but it's something that's happening in Europe. So I'm trying to educate some people, but I'm also being bashed for it at the same time. So I'm like, it's all good. Then I said, all right, here's the last one. Number 3, Cal, and this is when he just went quiet. Cal has a virtual AI scheduling assistant. So if you go to cal.ai, cal.ai, your Cal will virtually take your calls and schedule your calls on your behalf because they have an open source software that allows you to build that in. Calendly doesn't have an AI feature. So I now told him, I hope you learned something new today and consider suggestions when you have the opportunity to learn, because not every time does somebody have the opportunity to say something to you and you listen. So me just giving you guys that scenario on this thread, that's what happened this morning. People don't know about these platforms. I'm here telling you these platforms for free. I'm helping you save money. And then at the same time, you're trying to tell me I'm lying. That's when I go crazy. And I'm just like, all right, I'm going to give you facts and figures so we can just end this discussion. So, me telling you this, you probably didn't know it yourself. You can do your own research by all means, but AI is taking the future. Scheduling calls, and I just have my AI assistant to schedule a call instead of me doing it, and then I call you and send you a reminder 24 hours to say, hey, call this number that's registered and tell them to prepare this and this and this, and it's an AI calling on your behalf. That's different. So we're going into the future and we have to really think about where we're going. So just wanted to give y'all some context. So when you do email marketing, you do SEO, you set up your systems, you set up your operations, you know how much you're paying for things, what is the market saying, what is the market competing at, what's the competitive right price. All those things are going to help you understand and make better decisions. So yeah, Travis Michelle, you lit up one in me right now.
Wow, that was a good one. And the thing is, and this is Travis Michelle speaking for those of you who are listening and not in the room, we have to really be mindful. What works for one person isn't going to work for someone else. I have tried different platforms, and there are just certain things that are going to make your life easier. And whether it's the latest thing or it's not, if it makes your life easier, that's what it's about. Because most of us want to make money. But my number one thing is to serve and give value. The money is the residual from that, not the other way around. So if you're doing it because you want to leave that legacy so that you can go on your vacations, you can do whatever it is, have that financial freedom, putting things in place that work for you will then work for your client, your customer. The customer is not always right. And we're taught that. And I've thought about it and thought about it. I'm like, no, yes, I have been wrong and I've been a customer. So when you put things in place, yes, you listen to the customer and say, oh, I could tweak, but you have to also look at the source. And when you have someone that says, oh, I've never heard of Cal.ai, now I'm like, oh my goodness, another thing I got to go look up. But I'm going to see how I can integrate it. And if I can't, cool, at least I know about it. But you know what? I can share that information with someone else. We don't have to use all the same things because they're going to always come out with something new. AI is not replacing people because AI doesn't have a heart. And that's something that my mentor Les Brown says all the time. And we're so concerned with, oh, AI is not going to. You can use it. It's a tool. Cars that drive themselves and park themselves. You still have to open the door. Some human still has to program it, and it still is going to run a red light and it's going to bash a car parking, right? So if we stop thinking of AI as this magical thing and just say that's just another tool, in order for me to, I'm using a computer now. Started out with the computers that were big as a room. Now we're there, we hold them in our hand. AI is just helping us to be better, but it should be, you should think of it also as helping you to save time, because we don't get but a certain amount of time in our life and we don't know what that number is. So why not make the best of it so that we're not sitting here working in our business instead of allowing our business to work for us. And I just really think that mental health and that mindset shifting, and I'm glad that Favor talks about that as well, because it's important. If you can use a tool and it's going to help make your life easier, trust and believe it's going to make that client easy, better for them. And if it doesn't make it for a couple of people, they're not your client. It's okay. We cannot please everybody. And I'm not here to please everybody, because there are billions of people in the world and I need to get to those that are my audience. You need to get those to those people who are your audience, instead of trying to feed and take care of everybody. And I've had people come on who and look at certain things I've done and totally like try to destroy me. And I'm thinking, hmm, okay, so you say you're an expert, but one thing you don't know how to do is have kindness. One thing you don't know, you don't realize that you're talking to me, but I still could have been a customer. But the way you're speaking to me, because you're trying to make yourself look so knowledgeable and look so good, you've just destroyed that. And now I'm not even going to share that. You know what? Yeah, why don't you work with Favor? Because you know what? He helped me with this, and now I know how to do that, and this is where instead, nah, you know what? They're a mean man, they're a mean girl. I ain't gonna, don't work with. You see, think about every time you step out onto a platform and step out of your home. I now realize I'm representing Travis Michelle, so that means when I'm driving in my car and you cut me off, I can give you a good cussing because all my windows are up. But if my windows are down or I'm in front of you, I'm going to have to like figure out how to formulate it, because I know that somebody might be taping me on camera. You see what I mean? That's how we need to think of our business. AI is a tool. That's it. I'm Travis Michelle.
I love that, Travis Michelle. Thank you for highlighting that. Really appreciate that, because we have to think about our businesses from the ground up. What is the system? How do people pay us? How do people connect with us? You know, when people compliment you and say, hey, you have a nice system, or I like your workflow, that's an experience, because I don't know what your experience is. I'm not working with you. You might just send me a Cash App request. You might just send me, I don't know what you're going to do with your business, right? But I want to understand it. And then if I can make it better and make your process smoother, then it helps you scale. Having a podcast, setting up a system has given us six figures year over year over year over year, because we understand that without delegation, there's no acceleration. I can't do this on my own. Yes, I love building websites, but now I have someone who's doing it. I'm not the smartest person in the room. Somebody's handling Pinterest, somebody's handling a podcast, somebody else is handling logistics, somebody else is handling, branding, somebody else is handling writing. I don't have to do all those things myself. That's why I'm on Clubhouse for hours, because I have a team, right? We're nine of us plus 13 AI. That's 22 people, or 2022 activities, or 2022, if I can put it like that, 22, including myself, right? So operations are done, podcasts are published, emails are sent, newsletters are reported, reports are given, right? And we're tracking data. So if you're doing this consistently and you set up a system, then it works to your advantage, right? So don't just sit back and say, yeah, this is not for me. Yet this could actually help you save money, right? Over time, we help you save money, because right now you could save every dollar you could be spending on that, on ads, when you could put that into your business and reinvest that back into your business. So if you don't know what email platform to use, if you don't know what CRM is out there that works, there are different options. But how are you going to know which one to use if you don't try it, or if you're not recommended? Right? That's why I talked about Cal. I put that in the chat. You're welcome, Edward. Yeah, cal.com and cal.ai. It's an actual AI. I actually tried it today and I've talked with them as well. Like it feels like a real conversation, but also ethical marketing and integrity marketing demands that you should at least tell them, hey, you're speaking with an auto-generated AI. You can prompt it. You can also put your phone number and you can make a call and everything. Click that link and you'll see it there because it helps. Jen says time is limited. Use it efficiently. Take advantage of opportunities that help you manage that. Yes, that is so true. 100% true because you think about your business long term and ask yourself, am I going to be answering phone calls every day? At some point, I don't want to be answering phone calls. If companies are using AI response systems to book calls, and then I get on a call with you and I've pre qualified you through an AI, then we're talking business, right? There are things that are happening right now. So for me in Q4, we're changing our system. Changing systems is good. Change is good. And why change is good is because of what happened to us as a business. In July, we had our roughest month in July. I've never talked about this before, but this August was like the exact opposite. In July, we realized people come, they're excited about SEO, they're excited about making a change. They get on a call, they've wasted 1 hour of my time. I'm like, bro, we don't have time to waste here. I could give your time back right now. I don't want to talk about if you're not ready, then why did you sign up? So I would do like 30-minute calls that would turn into 1 hour calls. And then these 1 hour calls would drain. Yes, some of them would go through, some of them would not. And then I'll be able to know who's serious and who's not. So I realized we had an incident with a client when we finished building out a website. Everything was done, completed, but the client was refusing to pay the balance. And I was like, what did we do to you? You're a medical center. We were referred to you by a friend of a friend. And because of that trust, you should at least trust that we shouldn't even have this discussion. Come to find out that they're doing campaigns, they're running all these things, and we've not been paid our balance, and we're trying to close the account so we can move on to the next thing. So one of my teammates, he's a smart guy. His name is Michael. He's like, Favor, you know what we should do? And I didn't think about it, and I was like, boom, bet. He said, you know what we should do? Because we still have access to the website, and this has never happened in the history of me in a whole decade plus, never happened before. But I think this one thing made us change the system, and that's what has allowed us to scale our business. So I always thank God for every setback because it's always going to bring you to something bigger and better, right? So this client just decided to just become nonchalant, just become very I don't even understand what word to use for this scenario. And I was calling because I don't like to bother people. I don't like to call you, bother you. Like I like peace of mind, right? You go your way, I go my way. So I'm calling this guy, he's not picking up. I'm like, yo, pick up the phone. I send you an email, you don't respond. A week goes by, 2 weeks go by. I'm like, this is not good. So my friend Michael and then the team, he's like, you know what we should do? He said, let's put a coming soon curtain on the website. The website is finished. We're just going to put a layer on the website and we're going to say coming soon. So 2 days go by. I get a call at almost midnight. I was about to sleep. I get a call from the same guy I've been buzzing. I'm like, bro, pick up your phone. He's calling me before midnight because I think he was going to do some government contracting with the company and they needed to get their website for the funding to be, approved. I was like, bro, I'm not here to do buddy with you. Like I've been calling your phone, you're not picking up. We're not children. You're technically you're older than me. Like you should know better. Like I was just telling you straight up, this is business. You can't be doing this thing and me chasing you around for a balance that you should have paid in full before. So right now we pay in full. We don't even do half and half because of that incident. That's the first thing. Second thing, I told him, yo, if you're getting these things done, we've not even set up for you to do all these campaigns and do all these things. That's great. And for you to even know that your website is down, quote unquote, you got to hear that from somebody you are campaigning to. And the person you're campaigning to is telling you that your website is not active. That's why you called me. So if that guy didn't tell you, you would have not even reached me or connected with me because you didn't want to talk to me. So that already told me, like Therese Michelle was saying, your character. I said, hey, here's your website. We don't want to work with you again. even if we actually wanted to work with you because it's a black business, it's, it's, they're doing healthcare. I'm so excited about it, but the character, the CEO was just a whole mess. And I said, nope, I'm not working with you. We're going to finish your website. You've not even connected your Google Search Console, because that's usually the last thing. Once we connect that and we put you on the map, you can go about your day. We can give you your passwords. We don't hold your intellectual property. We build it for you and you keep it because you paid it in full. So I told them I'm not making a single change until you pay that balance. They paid the balance. Then eventually that's when everything got resolved. That took another 2 weeks. So I was like, nah, we're not going through this again. It was horrendous. It was scary. I was nervous. I was like, what did we do wrong? Like, we've done everything we possibly can. So those lessons are like nightmares. People don't talk about much of their business. They always talk about the sales they've made, the reports, all the good stuff, but there's some scars, right? So in July, we went through that whole valley and we decided we're going to change things up. So we now changed it also from having 30-minute calls. That's why you see the link above here. It's a free call, but it's 15 minutes only. 15 minutes before you get on that call, you've gotten an email, you know the price, you know the budget, you know the investment, you know the scope of work, you know all those things. And then you have a 7-day window to respond back. If you don't respond back in 7 days after email sending and all those things, we archive your file. If you come back to us in 6 months and you want to, come back in, we're going to add 10% to what the time that we spent because you were not serious. And we gave you a disclaimer before you even booked it. So just doing those things alone allows us to cut out the people, trim the fat, and get to know who's really serious. Because you can be on the call with me, but you may not be the business decision maker. So we're spending time talking, and then I have to talk to the next person. Then you call me. No, we're not doing that anymore. So my time is precious. Your time is precious. And I value your time so much that I want to give it back to you so that you can actually enjoy time with, the people that you love, so that we can also enjoy it together when we spend time at the same time. So that's what we've been doing now, and it's been so successful. And our clients are happy. Businesses, everyone it's a win-win. Everybody is thriving. And because of those systems and change, I even said, hey, we have a new policy effective August 1st. We put it on the website. We sent an email. It was a PSA, and they got it. They got the message. And now we've got it certified with SEMrush as an agency partner. So they know we're not playing games. We're licensed now. So that way, it also gives you that respect, and that way you're able to even work with people at a much higher capacity. Travis Michelle.
Well, congratulations. And I hear your passion. I hear your frustration. You know, and it's real. And hopefully, those of us here, we're taking notes because it's going to happen no matter how you think you're being, you're integral and being having character. There are going to be people who will try you, and they're so used to getting away with it. And if you're out because you just want the money, you're going to fall right into their trap. But when you stand on the integrity and character of your business, that's why you know your vision, you have your mission, you're not afraid to walk away. That's one thing in business. We have to have that ability to say all money is not good money. And when people ask me, "Oh, if I want to speak to you, why do I have to pay? I can't, you don't do discovery calls." I don't. Why? Because I've listened to Favor, I've listened to other coaches, and I was like, what? There has to be something. They're all saying the same thread, no matter if they're making millions of dollars as a coach or $1, that people are wasting their time. And they all say when you pay, sometimes people still don't show up, but at least you paid. So I had to really sit and think about that. And now for my power hour, which is my empowerment for women, and you want to speak to me because you have to pay for it for the hour. And it's not inexpensive because my time, you can never pay me for my time. But the value that I'm going to give you, you can use for the rest of your life. So I had to think of a way that I don't come away with a bad taste in my mouth. Actually, let me just say it the way I want to say it. I'm pissed off. And you don't walk away like that was a waste. Well, paying for that hour I can give you actionable steps. I don't know how to just, or, and I don't want to learn, get on the phone and just sell to you. That's not what I'm about. I'm not here to sell to you. I'm here to give value to you. And maybe because of the business I'm in as a strategist, it works better. It may not work as well for you, but and for me, I know that I can't hold back. If you give me a scenario, I'm not going to sit there and go, well, you know what? You need to work with me and then I can help you. That doesn't feel good to me. It feels real grimy. For me, I want to be able to say, hey, here's some bullet points. Boom, boom, boom. Whether you use them or not, but you walked away with something because as a divorce strategist, it's very emotional. And you have questions. And do you want to pay your attorney 350 or 550 an hour for that one question when you can speak to me and get several questions to even ask your attorney? And I don't feel like I've wasted my time or your time. So it everybody's business model is different, but I'm very comfortable. And after this favor, I am even more 10 toes down. Yes, in order to have that time with me, yes, you do have to pay for that hour. And then guess what? I no longer, if you, I'm going to work with people as a divorce, you're going through a divorce or a breakup. And, like people don't know the questions to ask an attorney. They're very afraid of it. It's like, going to a doctor. All of a sudden you come in there and you're so, oh my gosh, just help me. I used to be a paralegal before I was an RN. Been through a divorce, 3 years, 3 kids, 3 different attorneys. So I know the questions. They don't intimidate me. They work for you. They don't, you don't work for them, and then how to navigate through that process. So I can give you actual steps. You're going to walk away with something that you can use if we never work any further. But leading up to that, the biggest point, I don't work with everybody in my 3 and 6 month package. You might sound wonderful, but if you are rude on the phone, you don't listen. If I see where you are, you might really need some therapy before you even get to me. I'm a certified mental health coach and therapist, so that's not what I'm here to do. I want to then be able to refer you. And that's where it comes in that I have helped you, but then I can refer you out and say, no, you need to go work with this person because that's a better fit. I'm Travis Michelle.
Thank you, Travis Michelle. I appreciate that. That is so heavy to receive, for someone who is like casually just walking around with it because they don't know the value of themselves too. You have to think about raising your prices, raising your eyebrows, and looking beyond just the little scope and seeing exactly what's going on around you. That way you're able to know, because sometimes it may not even be your fault. It might be the person right before you. There's some people I've talked to, they told me, favor, I've been burnt by marketing professionals. I've been burnt by SEO agencies. I don't want to spend money with them because they're all just selling me snake oil. Like just all horror stories that you hear. Somebody I was talking to, where I'm so excited we're going to start working together next week, on her Pinterest. We got to talk last week, actually this week, sorry, and we got on a call, and I was like, hey, we have a 7-day policy. She's like, oh, okay, no problem. Before I even say the day, she was really like, no, 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 no. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, she was like, do I have 7 minutes to make this decision? I said, no, 7 days. Because I felt like, to me, it's like she kind of got triggered because I asked, okay, why did you say that? And she was like, oh, somebody told her before that you have to make a sale on this call before you get off. If you get off, the deal is off. I was like, we don't even do that. I don't know if people still do that. That used to be something people I think used to do in 2020. You get on the call. That I remember Clubhouse days in November 2020. You just be on the call. I'm like, I even experienced it myself. I went on someone's call and I was like, oh, I want to work with this person, but I have to do all these things. Huh? Nah, it doesn't work like that. Thanks, Edward. Thanks for being here. I saw you on the phone call, so I thought you were still engaged on the call. Do you want to say anything before you go? He's probably gone. Yeah, that's definitely the phone call that he's still on. But she got triggered, and I was like, no, 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 we do 7 days, not 7 minutes. And she calmed down and she's like, oh, okay, because I need to spend time to read this. You're paying for things. If you're paying thousands of dollars a month, hundreds of dollars a month, you need to know what you're spending it on. You need to at least have some substantial proof of what you're doing. We've helped companies turn from just having 3 local listings to 67 local listings, right? And it's not an overnight thing. It takes time. You have to understand the value of what you're bringing to the table. So those are major things to look out for. When you know your time, you know your value, it makes sense. And that's how I was able to calculate. Because sometimes I used to ask myself, how much should I charge someone for an hour? Sometimes I used to ask myself that question. And if you ever asked yourself that question, I don't know what answer you'd give yourself, because you also don't want to be sounding too undercut and also overpriced at the same time. And how I got to know that defining moment for me was somebody on LinkedIn reached out to me. I got an email on LinkedIn from someone that is on LinkedIn. They work at a research company, a marketing research company. And they said, hey, Favor, we see that you're very good with Pinterest and we'd like to pay you for your time. How much do you charge for an hour? It's an open check. I'm like, what? So I was like, hey, I'm just going to tell you my price. I'm not money greedy. I'm content. I'm grateful to God for life. I'm okay. I'm good. Everything is fine. If the money comes, it comes. If it doesn't, we live to see another day. And I went ahead and told our price. I said, hey, it's $1,000 for an hour. And for that $1,000, I'll give you all the information. They responded back and they said, okay. It sets me the form. We didn't even talk on the phone. It was an email conversation. One email to the next. I said, yeah, this is the price. What do you guys need? Okay, here's a calendar. Here's our waiver. Sign this waiver. Sign this and that. Then schedule your call. And then I got on a call. They transcribed my whole text and they were talking about some really deep stuff I can't talk about here. But I gave them some insights about Pinterest for 2025, right? Just predictions and, tracking data, because I'm very big on research. So they paid me as soon as I was done. 7 days came and the money was in my Navy Federal account. So it's like, okay, business is done. Let's, I'm happy that I was able to help a company. They found me on LinkedIn. I didn't run an ad there. I didn't say, hey, book me. I just had the availability. I had my email available. You can go to my LinkedIn and see my email. That's how accessible it is, because I don't want you looking for me when I'm right there. Then you can find me. So that's how you build communication and systems that allow you to actually connect the dots. So when you do those things and people charge you now, if I'm going to a stage, that's $3,000 for talk time on a stage, because I know the value of what I'm bringing. If it's going to be outside the state, then that's 5,000. So you start to see the travel, the things that you're taking care of, how much you're spending. People are hearing these prices are like, what? Yeah, because we value our time so much that if I spend 30 minutes with you and I just open up something that you see, you'll be grateful. If your car stops running and a mechanic comes and fixes your car, wouldn't you be grateful? Because you wouldn't have known how to fix that car if it wasn't for that mechanic. So if you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you something and you didn't know, you're going to be grateful for that, right? If you go to an accountant and they tell you something, you'll be grateful. If you go to a lawyer and they tell you, you'll be grateful, because these people know better than you. You know what you know, they know what they know. So when you both come together, it makes a better place for both people. So all these things to say is, if you're looking for any service, anything online, especially with email marketing, SEO, be very specific on who you're relating with. Be specific on how you relate with them, right? How you say those things matter, right? And when you say those things and it goes as an email, it's gone, right? One pro tip I'll give you too is use the font size 14, 16. 16 is a sweet spot, but test it out too, right? If you increase your font size it's a very small ad thing, but it does a big impact, because you're dealing with HTML, hypertext markup language, right? So if you increase the font size of your email text, that's going to improve your conversion rate by 2 to 3% at the very least. Why? Because people can read it. You don't know what kind of screens people have. You don't know if they have small screens, wide screens, large screens, no screens. You don't know. So you have to make sure it's legible. When you see a billboard and that billboard has big letters, it's because they want you to read the letters in bold. So when you now have those things as well as a business and you have text, it can really improve your connections. Having emojis too helps you. If you use emojis, it's not going to make the SEO better, for lack of a better word. It's going to enhance what you've already applied with SEO. So if you're talking about, 3 ways to
Readability, please.
read it exactly,
Readability.
the readability and the visibility, because when you see an emoji, you feel comfortable reading it. If I say good morning, and then if I say good morning with a smiley face, it changes the mood. Right? If I say good morning and I'm giving you a yawning face, it's going to change your reaction. right? So those things are going to humanize the branding, the context, the SEO. It's just going to make it better to read and faster to consume, you know? So those are some things to look out for when you now create these discussions and these pieces. So we've been here for a good amount of time. We've been here for an hour 42 minutes, and I know a lot of us have been, here. It's a holiday, so I want to make sure I give you all your time back. So we'll wrap up in the next few minutes if no one has any other questions, but I'll give about 3 minutes for us to go around. If you have a question, please raise your hand and put in the chat. If you have any specific question, we'd love to answer you and connect with you. Welcome, Jansen. It's good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you on the app. Welcome back, Nikki, Mac, Saul, No Carbs, Kristen, Sack, Arthit, Wes, Joy, Austin, Cuckoo, Trust Michelle, Amen, and Liverpool. Appreciate you all for being here today. So this is something that you guys should check out. Definitely. Please check it out. If you want to get on a call with me, the link is available here. If you want to listen to the podcast, go to wedon'tplaypodcast.com. We have over 400 episodes. We're in season 9, top 3% globally, and we are still going hard. We're still going strong, and we're still connecting with a lot of people. So these are the times that you need to also think about how you connect online. If you can connect online with people and send emails frequently, you'll never go wrong. You can literally go about your day and have a great day while you've informed people because you planted good seed on good soil for good people that need good information. So that's just how we do things out here. So we appreciate you for being here. Next week, I'll be back, God willing. I usually do SEO Sundays, so I'll see if I'll be here tomorrow. I've been in this room, this marketing club, every day this week. Every single day. I've been here at least once a day. And I'm giving you guys time. I'm giving you information. And I love doing it because I'm not being paid for this. No one is paying me to sit here with you for all this time, but I know in return, people that have gained information from this, they've learned something, their minds have changed, they've done some practices, they've taken some information, and they'll go learn something. And then by next month, next year, they come back with good news because you planted good soil. When you plant a tree today, you're not going to reap the tree tomorrow. It might reap in 20 years. If you invest in a portfolio today, you're not expecting to yield profit over time, in less than the time that you yielded or the time that you're forecasting. So you have to think about the long-term effect of everything that you're doing. So I hope this helped you guys and give you guys some cool insights. So enjoy your Labor Day weekend, everyone. And I appreciate you all. Travis Michelle, thanks again for joining today. It was good having you here. Every time I see you on the app, I'm like, she's back. Love to hear from you. What's
Oh, hi, that was for me to speak? Okay. I'm putting a hand. I meant to say a heart. Jeez almighty. No, thank you so much, Favor. It's always good. Yeah, we need to get on a call, not on your job call thingy. We actually, see, Favor and I go back, what is it, 3 years? So when you've been on this app, you leave, you come back, or in my case, fight for my life, and now cervical cancer, I kicked its butt. You know, you build a relationship in a community, and that's what's so important. You don't have to do this entrepreneurial journey by yourself. Stop thinking that I got to do it all. You don't. I'm finally realizing it. Even though I stayed up till 2 a.m. this morning, I was doing my part. And then I had my person who's on my team, they were doing, and we were able to talk to each other. But it was like co working. They were on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast, but it was still getting done. And sometimes I need that accountability. That's also important. Accountability. This is a lot of information. You don't have to do everything and accomplish it today. It takes time. I've been in this game for 4 years. Granted, 2 of it was fighting for my life, but I'm still going. Don't give up. People are still saying, "Oh my goodness, I see you. I see what you're doing." It's not as speedy as I wanted it, but you're still doing better than a lot of other people who are just out here jaw jacking. If you're not from the South and don't know what that means, running their lips, flapping their lips, talking, smoke coming out their mouth, they're capping, they're doing everything but what they say they're doing. I'm Travis Michelle, y'all. Enjoy your holiday, enjoy your fall, and make sure that you're going to make the rest of this year count for you and your business. I'm Travis Michelle. Too much for some, not enough for others. But guess what? I'm always just right for me.
Hey, appreciate you, Travis Michelle. Yeah, you guys enjoy yourselves. Do something different. I'm about to do something different. Let me tell you what I'm about to do. I've booked. So excited about this. I've never tried it before, and I'm excited about this. I'm going to a spa that has something specific. I've gone to a spa before, but this spa specifically has something different. They have cold plunges, they have infrared saunas, and they also have vitamin C showers. So it's a good place to relax, recoup, rejuvenate, rebuild your. So I'm going to be going there later today, and I'm excited to have that experience. So to do something different, I'm always working, always busy, always helping, always something. And sometimes I'm like, I don't even buy myself things. Like, to be honest, I told myself, you don't even buy yourself clothes, buy yourself things. I can splurge on myself, but I'd rather, help others first before. It's crazy, but times are changing now. So I at least give myself that percentage of value, and then, help other people too, while I'm also doing that simultaneously. So I said today, yeah, I'm gonna go there, enjoy myself, plunge in, relax, recoup, play some music. If anyone's online, I'll see what's going on. And yeah, like Travis Michelle said, make yourself a priority. Because if you don't do self-care, then who's taking care of you? That's a big question. So yeah, that's we got to do that. Make sure our minds are set and preset for what's coming. So thank you all so much, Travis Michelle. You're giving me the eyeballs. I was like, what's you
Yeah,
good?
I don't know what a vitamin C shower is. Okay, because I know vitamin C, you drink it, you ingest it, they even have the IV, but I just don't know what that shower thing. That just sounds a little something or something. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm definitely excited to try it out and see, because one of the benefits actually, and it's not just for, let me just say a little bit about it. I don't know if you guys have it in your, it's in different places, but I don't know where specifically. It's called Sweat House. That's the name of the company, Sweat House. But the way they say Sweat House is a little different. So with the Z, so Sweat House, so Sweat and then HOUZ. So that's what they have. And the vitamin shower, one of the great things that they talk about with that, it's this, it's sweat. Of course, we know sweat is made of water, electrolytes, and waste products, right? So with the vitamin C shower, what you're actually getting is, first of all, your skin is being radiated. So it's actually tapping into your skin because of the temperature. It's re-energizing you because it's infused as well. So you're getting that even the smell that you're also getting is also going into your senses. So it's like a whole therapeutic thing. So I don't know what I'm about to get myself into, but I'm excited about it because I think it's necessary. And then yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I'll call you, Travis Michelle. I'll actually FaceTime you. I'll be like, check this out, see this place. I'll call you today if you're free, and I'll just hit you up and see if you like what you see, with, and if you have it in your city, you could try it out too, because this is something I'm trying for the first time, and it's something I'm doing before the end of August. So it's kind of like a reward for a good month, a good business month.
Yeah, everything else you mentioned was good. Absolutely. But as females, that's citrus. We don't know if we want to have a shower like that. So you go ahead and do that, and let us all know what that's about. I'm just looking at it from an RN perspective, the shower. I'm like, yeah, come on now. Some things we know are fads. Some things they sound good and people will charge you a lot of money for, but really your body, your skin is the biggest organ that you have. That's true. You don't necessarily want that open to citrus so ingredients, because it, like salt, it burns. So they just might be calling it that, and it's not, and it could be just a cream that you have. So please, let inquiring minds know. I'm just saying.
I'm just here laughing and crying. Yes, I will let you know for sure. And I will say, I think I'm sure they definitely considered that, because it's for both men and women. And, they have their saunas, they have their plunges and everything. So with the vitamin C, I'm sure they definitely have some precautions. And then you have to fill out a form and everything. So when I go there and ask those questions, I'll find out. And whatever they tell me, because that's their policy, they have definitely a way to do things. there's definitely a way. You might even just get in the shower. You don't have to fully, you can just dress up a little bit, so like you're going to like a swimming pool, just in your bathing suit if you want to do that. But of course, I don't know. People take showers differently. So I can't speak on that for everyone, but I will get to know what they say, and then I'm gonna come back here next week and talk about it for sure. And then I'll let you know, Travis Michelle, how it goes today. But that's what we're doing out here. We're having a good time, and self-care is important. Health is wealth. If you don't take care of yourself, someone else will, and you don't want that to be a burden. You want to be a light. You want to be a beacon. So that's what we're here for. So enjoy your Labor Day weekend, everybody. Have fun, eat good, stay hydrated, stay blessed, and stay out of trouble. So I'm gonna see you guys soon, and I'll catch y'all later.